No exit. After this, there may be no exiting the United States of America. Did you hear the news? I'm sounding the alarm once again, and get this. Air Canada and global airlines face widespread cancellations. There are certain countries like India that have actually paused their routes to Washington, D.C. Alert, alert, I'm sounding the alarm. There is too much going on in the West, particularly in the United States of America. And in this video, I'm going to update you on everything that I know as of right now. But I must warn you, these stories are continuing to roll. There is new information coming in all of the time, and there is a lot here. But we need to understand this as expats, as travelers, as entrepreneurs, as sovereign people that have the strength and the stability of mind to discern the times and understand what is happening. Now get this, we are shifting from on time to uncertainty because Air Canada has been assuring passengers that its operations are stable. And yet, on August 11th, which was just 2 days ago, over 35 flights were canceled across Canada. These disruptions are not even isolated either. Other carriers like Lufthansa, Cathay Pacific, United, and Singapore Airlines, even Thai Airways, also faced widespread cancellations. For expats, frequent flyers, and business travelers, this is more than just a little hiccup. This is how your freedoms can quickly be diverted and basically vanish overnight. And here's what's going on. There's a strike mandate behind the tension. In August of this year, more than 10,000 Air Canada flight attendants, represented by the Canadian Union of Public Employees, CUPE, voted 99.7% in favor of a strike mandate. So here are the key facts that we know so far. The union can issue a 72-hour strike notice as soon as August 16th if talks fail, so within 3 days. Negotiations have resumed under pressure, but CUPE is organizing day of action protests in Montreal, Toronto, Calgary, and Vancouver airports, okay? Now, the main issue is that wages are lagging behind inflation. They say they have unpaid work hours and poor working conditions. Although CUPE says these demonstrations are not strikes and will not affect the current schedules, the strike threat itself is real. Air Canada has warned a full work stoppage would cost them $1.4 billion US, okay? And now let's talk about what actually happened 2 days ago on August 11th. So flight data and Air Canada's own listings confirm that on August 11th, several key domestic and international routes were grounded. Let's go through what they were. The Toronto to Vancouver route, Montreal to Trudeau, Frankfurt, Calgary to Toronto, Montreal Trudeau to Los Angeles, LA, and then Toronto to Quebec City. These cancellations hit across country domestic routes and international routes, okay? My goodness. And as if all of that was not enough, there are other air routes and airlines around the world that are also facing cancellations this week. Mainly they took place Monday, but I'm continuing to see notifications from my sources that more and more routes are being taken offline quietly in the background. They're not covering this on CNN. You have to kind of be in the news cycle. You have to be in journalism rooms. You have to already be touched into the algorithm to get these updates. But I'm so honored and privileged to give this to you as a fellow traveler, as someone that is going to travel soon. Me personally, you know, I've been outside of America for over 5 years now, okay? Over 5 years straight. Not going back and forth America to another place, but literally living outside of the United States of America. I live in Southeastern Africa and have been for over 5 years. And so understanding these flight routes is not just something that's like, oh, I love paying attention to flight routes. This is life and death. This is, I need to know what's going on so that I can understand how to maneuver. And I know that you as an expat are the same way. So get this. The Lufthansa European route has adjustments. The Cathay Pacific, which has select Asia Pacific routes from like Southeastern Asia, maybe even Eastern Asia, Central Asia to Los Angeles, has detoured and altogether pulled their flights Even some of them that were going to Hawaii have been like canceled fully. Then United Airlines is having several transborder cancellations across the board. United Airlines also just updated me and said there are additional cancellations that are rolling even through today. I'll have to pick up on that topic on another day, because that's even a more new source of information that we have to see everything that's rolling in. But now also Singapore Airlines and Thai Airways have operational cuts as well. These may stem from shared airport resources, crew shortages, and operational ripple effects ahead of possible Canadian labor action. But here's the public messaging versus the passenger reality. You know what oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I did not give you 10 seconds to like the video. I'm sorry, that's my bad. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to hit the like button. If you are not seeing this information anywhere else, hit that like button and share this with 10 people that need to know about this. People that want to travel, people that do travel, people that are expats. Everybody needs to know about this so that we can be a more knowledgeable population of humans in the end times. I believe that ignorance is not bliss. I believe that knowledge is wisdom, and getting understanding in all things that are submitted under the will of the Most High will ultimately help you in the long term. So I'll give you 10 seconds to hit the like button. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. And go ahead, subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Because listen, things are heating up, and I'm warning you, they're saying, I'm getting reports that October 2025, the next 2 to 3 months, is the cutoff for things to really be cemented in place and you to not be able to leave the West. Or it will be incrementally more difficult for you to leave the West than it is currently right now. You know, things are heating up more than they were in 2020. People are coming back. Previous clients are saying, hey, I can feel the tension in the atmosphere here. Hey, things are changing. This is different than the last lockdown. This is different than anything that's happening before, and I can't put my hand on it. And listen, I got your back. Our team over here is doing research to find the data points, to find what's happening as these policies shift, as travel changes, because we know we are going into unprecedented times, okay? But let's get back to public messaging versus the passenger reality. Air Canada's official statement says, our flights continue to operate normally. Passengers will be informed of any changes in advance should job action occur after August 16th. While technically true, August 11th proved cancellations that passenger impact can start well before any official strike date. So those people that were in Canada, if they were like, hey, I think I'm gonna go travel to South Africa, I think I'm gonna go visit Brazil, I think I'm gonna try and just leave Canada and try to go to like maybe Ghana. If they were having that on their plan, their plans just got super duper diverted, and they will have to potentially take other routes, travel across the border, see if they can fly out of Dallas or something, fly out of New York, see what their different options are. Because once airlines strike, and guess what? Remember we had did the video, it went viral on the channel, the most viewed video on the channel, how starting October 2025. Remember, I want you to pay attention to these dates. There is an air route from New York to France and France to New York that is permanently going to be pulled from the North Airway airline, okay, starting October. We are not seeing these things by accident. Could it be a coincidence that all these airlines are getting pulled in preparation for October 2025 when also the EU does their digital dollar? Are all these things a coincidence? Absolutely not. These things are not a coincidence. These are things that we need to be aware of, because the world, the financial system, and your travel freedoms are changing exponentially. Soon you are not going to be able to travel to places. If you want to be an expat, you need to pack your bags like yesterday and get on the plane and get ready to go, because very soon you will not have that freedom to travel. And it won't look like, hey, you can't board this plane, although you are seeing some of that. You are seeing some people being denied denied and things of that nature. I've even seen reports of Israeli citizens being denied entry into Pakistan and areas in the Middle East because of the war and the things that they are doing to Gaza, right? And so even that is happening. And by the way, that report actually stated, I actually do want to break this down, I almost forgot. It stated that even American passport holders, Canadian passport holders, UK passport holders who had visited Israel and had an Israeli stamp in the last couple of months were flagged and could be denied entry into areas in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Oman, all these different areas, okay? There is a video on TikTok. This is a primary source as it actually happened. The CNN, the news articles are not going to tell you this, but these are passengers that are telling you they were not able to get in because they had traveled to Israel. Okay. And so this is a time where it's going to be wise for you to just stay in the global south. I always tell people that. My husband and I, we tell you, stay in the global south. You do not want to be in these places where they have turmoil, these places where it's like war, rumors of war, kind of war, half war, sometimes war. Just stay out of those places. Get down here to the global south. You know, I always represent Africa, period. I represent sub-Saharan Africa because I truly believe with 100,000% of my soul that Africa is the only place to be in the end times. It just is what it is. And now, you know, I'm a marketing analyst, okay? Marketing engineering of 9 years. I own my own business. And so I have to talk about the market and economic impact of this. The threat of disruption is already hitting Air Canada financially. They had a 14% stock drop in the last month. Investors estimate 1.4 billion Canadian dollars in potential strike losses. They have a risk to corporate contracts and business travel relationships. And if a strike begins, losses could multiply as Star Alliance partners scramble to fill the gaps. And we got to get into some prophetic and biblical insight here because these things are not a coincidence. In the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 11, Yahushua warns of distress of nations, situations that end up paralyzing normal life. In a modern world, that distress can mean planes grounded, visas delayed, movement restricted, and for believers who are also travelers and know that they are designed to be pilgrims of the earth, this is a reminder that global mobility is fragile, labor unrest can quickly turn into border-like barriers, and preparation is both spiritual and practical. Now, here are your takeaways. Obviously, you can join an intensive like the State of the Diaspora. We have served so many clients, and we are so honored and privileged to be able to serve clients throughout the diaspora, throughout the world, who have come in and taken the 90-minute intensive, are already in their intimate group settings, speaking with their network to see, hey, do I want to go to Botswana? Do I want to go to Cape Verde? Do I want to go to Seychelles? Do I want to go to Mauritius? Do I want to spend some time in Kenya? Do I want to spend some time in Thailand? That can be the life that you live as well. Tickets are $150. There are limited seats available. Link in the description. But your practical takeaways, I want you to watch for August 16th. I'm also going to be watching for August 16th. Right now, it is the 13th, okay? This strike could be issued at any moment. Remember, France was also having issues with air strikes that was basically stopping their mobility as well. So this is now becoming a world stage type of issue. It's looking like whatever is happening behind the scenes, not to even mention the fact that in Washington, D.C., literal troops are on the ground against American citizens. Oh my gosh. Leave a comment down below if you've been following that story, and tune us in, tune all of us in as the community over here on Journey with us. Y'all know we stay connected and we stay sharing the information with each other. But as if that wasn't enough, we have these airports being closed, we have embassy closures, we have travel bans. There's a lot happening, and I want you to stay rooted. I want you to stay grounded, but I also want you to stay discerning. It is impossible to stay discerning if you do not know what to discern or what to pray about. So this is why you must stay in the know. Then you need to diversify your carriers. Avoid depending on just one airline for relocation or business travel. We covered this in the State of the Diaspora. Even as you're traveling within Africa, even if you're traveling between Africa and Asia, there are certain flight routes that are going to be less expensive. There are certain times of the year that you need to take your routes. There are certain travel plans that you can have in place to minimize your risks and to save your money so you can invest in stocks, crypto, whatever you like to invest in. Book flexible tickets. Free rebooking or refundable fares reduce financial loss, okay? Then you need to know alternative routes. No longer is it enough to know, okay, I know my local regional route, but you need to kind of know, okay, what's on the other side of my state? What countries are surrounding me? How can I maneuver if I need to? And then also understanding how can other people maneuver in so that you're aware of the people that are coming around you into your state, into your region, to know what that looks like. Because obviously, using the example of the Israelis that are unable to get into some of these areas like Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Oman, and being turned down at the border, literally the attendants or the immigration people told them you are being turned down because you have an Israeli passport. If y'all saw that story, leave a comment down below. My husband sent it to me. It was wild, okay? First-hand account. A lady was filming it silently. They couldn't see she was filming it. But that's what's happening in the Middle East, and I'm not mad at them, you know. Do what you do. That's your sovereign. That's your nation. You do what you got to do, okay? I'll be over here on this side of the world. You do what you have to do, okay? So lastly, I want you to follow airline investor news. I want you to become more knowledgeable about these things. Look for stock movements, stock prices, stock decreases, because these actually signal internal stress before public announcement. And then if a full strike actually hits, you're going to see negotiations fail. You can expect mass cancellations on domestic and international routes. You can expect connecting flights through Star Alliance to be disrupted due to aircraft and crew repositioning. And then you will see other Canadian airports seeing overflow congestion, making even unaffected airlines unreliable. And let's run into a quick simulation. If this continues into 2026, what does your life look like if you're living in the West? Let's go simulation time. Okay, let's leap into February 2026. Air Canada's strike wave inspires copycat actions at other major carriers. WestJet, Lufthansa, British Airways, all face labor unrest within weeks of each other. Immediately, that would mean within weeks, people that are in the Western Hemisphere would not be able to freely move. Toronto Pearson's departure board is a wall of red. 70% of flights are delayed or canceled. Canadian expats returning home for visa renewals are stranded overseas because missing critical appointments. Cargo delays mean business owners lose their shipments, especially in perishable goods. That's going to start to affect the economy and the prices of produce in the West. And then global aviation alliances reroute passengers via U.S. hubs, creating bottlenecks in Chicago, New York, and Dallas, of which President Donald Trump said he's already ready with military on the ground in D.C. He is potentially ready to also send troops to major cities across America. Governments across the world by 2026 in February will begin discussing emergency travel rationing. The fact that that's even a term, possibly, emergency travel rationing, telling you that only essential travelers can travel for the few operational flights. Woo, child. Oh my. If I were you and I wanted to leave the West and I was being called to leave, I would leave by the end of the month, period. I'm going to tell you, I just would. Your life's going to be easier, I promise you. And for the average traveler, last minute now means 6 months in advance. And ticket prices for Toronto, London economy seats hover near 3,200 Canadian dollars. Woo, child. If the August 2025 disruptions are the dress rehearsal, 2026 might be the full production. And those without a plan will be left watching from the terminal. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, check out the links in the description. This is wild, but you know, all praises to the Most High. You know I'm going to come back with more information that you need for your journey in the end times. See you next time.